Yes, I wasn't particularly happy with how things were coming out. I've done several videos, and if I'm honest, the Osmo 4 seems to get better imagery. So what I've done is I've put everything to auto now, and also same time put the standard 10-bit, not the D-Log M, although people recommend that because there's more data in the picture, so you can go on to colour grade just and everything afterwards. Like I say, I want to have a point and shoot camera which takes good imagery, so I'm putting standard 10-bit, also in high rate bit, which just means it takes the digitalness out of it. Everything else is set to automatic. Come on. Come on. And some people advise using the 4:3 setting, which I find in order to crop it down you need to zoom in on it, and again that can look quite a bit pixelated. Well, not so much pixelated, but a little bit grainy, so gone back to the original 16 point, come on Peggy, 16.9. So I just want to see how this goes today. That's why I prefer to get footage which the only edits I've got to make is maybe cutting and, you know, adding some text and stickers and stuff in. But I don't really want to get too involved in colour grading, because even with the colour grading, even though it does provide some good stuff, in a lot of cases the sort of graininess I was getting behind it all was still apparent. Sometimes it reduced it a little bit, sometimes it would actually enhance it a bit, you know, where sort of, especially with the darks, the blacks and stuff like that, it's as if they were shifted on screen. You know, if I looked at Pagan, for instance, his coat would be slightly pixelating beneath everything else, and so, you know, that's not ideal for what I really want. So I've looked at it, thought I'd give that a try. I mean, I know the Nano does a really good job. Before did a pretty good job. Well, yeah, a really good job, I would say, you know, and the clarity I can get from it. But the 6, I'm having a little bit of trouble in, let's say, managing it so I just get the view of what I'm seeing with my own eyes. So really this video is a test of that, to see how it looks, how the colours show up. Now if I can get a clean film, I don't have this sort of causing us some graininess in it, then I'm hoping that yes, I can apply various LUTs and maybe even an ND filter to compensate for those lighter days and stuff. So fingers crossed that's going to work a bit better now. Well, I hope so when I get back. I'll have a look at this. And this fairly overcast day today, we haven't got the sun, so I shouldn't need any sort of ND filter on. Although I will admit, come on Pagan, good boy. The bike ride I did the other day, that come out quite well. And I do want to try another bike ride. Come on Pagan. On a sunny day with an ND filter, so I can get that bit of motion blur in there. It's all a case of trying and testing really, but that's over me. DJI OSMO 4. It pretty much works straight out the box. Great film quality and everything else. So, I mean, it's all personal preference what you want from your videos. You know, I just want to get, really as I see it with my own eyes, I want to see that on the screen. You know, I don't want this digital sort of effect of a bit of graininess in it, a bit of pixelation in places where you know, things are taking over. So we'll just have to try it today, see how it goes. So it's getting closer to the weekend, Tuesday today. Just had me Asda shopping delivery. Oh my god, how much the price has gone up. I mean, for what I paid for today, probably put a picture on the screen, cost me, it's £53, and they didn't deliver everything I wanted. The main thing I want is eggs. That's the one thing they can't deliver for some reason. It's twice, well 3 times that's happened now. But you know, just some essentials. You know, tin tomatoes, which you tend to have with most stuff. You know, with meatballs, which you get from across the road, or sausages, or something like that. Some toilet paper. Some peanut butter, which I have during the day. Sort of snack on a little bit. So there's hardly anything there. And yet, a year ago, I thought it was an expensive shop for about £60. But then it used to last me a month. Okay, there's a lot of Asda's own brand stuff in there, which is fine. But yeah, the prices are just unreal, you know. Cost of living is getting so much. You know, it's unforgivable. So, you know, I'm eating healthily enough. Well, I say, I mainly rely on eggs. But trying to get eggs on an Asda delivery, it's it's costing a fortune. I mean, I used to allow substitutes. So I used to buy these 15 packs of eggs. Come on, this way. Come on, this way. And down the road. They substituted them for 12 packs of eggs. Now I bought about 3 or 4 boxes because I do get through eggs a lot. So they substituted them for the same class of egg. Same size egg, you know, classed as mediums, for 12 eggs. Now they didn't compensate me by giving me a few more eggs. They just changed it to a more expensive egg, which is no difference. An egg's an egg. Sizes are the same. And come on, Peg, good boy. And they ripped me off. You work it out, that's quite a few eggs. It's just over another complete pack of eggs, which he got away with. Well, I did contact him and tell them, but it was the same old thing. Well, you did say substitute, so it's your fault. You know, it makes you wonder. You know, if I'm shopping, I don't go for brand stuff, I just go for the basic stuff. It's usually just as good, if not a bit better. It makes you wonder, you know, is it that people who actually go into the shops, into the stores and are shopping do the same? And so these other more expensive eggs, which are no different whatsoever, don't sell on the shelves, and it's a good way for them to get rid of them. You know, it's stupid really. But yeah, cost of living is certainly rising. You know, everything. If you want to eat healthily, you simply can't these days. I mean, I'm on keto diet, so it's very basic. I won't say bland, but blandish. So, you know, I will top up throughout the day for energy, fuel, on just peanut butter. You know, I used to have a good breakfast, good lunch, well, reasonable lunch, and also my dinner. Today I've had to cut it back now to have a breakfast and just a dinner. And my dinner doesn't consist of anything really. It's just a few meatballs, which I get from across the shop, in some chopped tomatoes, and a few spices, sometimes a little bit of cheese on top, and it makes a bowl full, which is usually enough for me. But you know, that's all I really have. You know, in the morning I have 3 to 4 eggs. Again, I might have a few chopped tomatoes. Go on, Pagan. Go on, good boy. A few chopped tomatoes. I may just have them on an oat cake. Go on, good boy. Go on, good boy. And that's for breakfast. You know, some nights I will change it. I might have a couple of sausages. Or, you know, I do enjoy a bit of belly pork. So I usually reserve that for a Sunday. I mean, I used to cook a chicken on a Sunday. But it's so expensive. And nowadays, you hardly get anything on them. You know, the quality is just going downhill. So, I did buy a couple of chicken breasts this time, admittedly. Because, to be honest, you know, you buy a whole chicken, yeah, probably got 2 decent chicken breasts off it, if you're lucky. And the rest, you know, you end up sort of having one bite out of a chicken leg. Go on. And then, you know, picking the little strands off and everything else for the dogs and the cat. You know, obviously making sure there's no bones in it. And that's what it's like. So I'll give up on buying them. But, you know, the cost of living is just getting stupid now. I mean, I know my little corner shop is probably a little bit more expensive than, say, Asda and all that lot. But really, in comparison, they sell some nice stuff across there. You know, I get meatballs from there. It's £1 for a pack. You get 12 in a pack, just the right amount. You know, being on keto, I don't have pasta or anything, so I don't have these false fillers adding up the carbs. You know, I don't have chips or anything, which again are just fillers, and they play havoc with my blood sugars. Go on this way. So, you know, if I want good quality meats, proteins and stuff like that, you have to pay a lot. So I'm basically living, no, just on the basics. You know, it's just costing so much. It's absolutely unreal. You know, in a sense, yes, I miss driving and stuff like that, but to be honest, if I did drive, I wouldn't be able to afford it now with the fuel going up and everything. So it's not something I can say I really, you know, I missed it. Yeah, I do miss and be able to get around and having a bit of freedom, being able to get around, you know, go different places and stuff. So, you know, if I do go out, it's usually going to be with Pagan. You know, I can't take him when I go out on my e-bike. So I'm pretty limited to local areas. You know, like where I'm walking now. You know, I know people have said to me, oh, well, just let us know if you want to go anywhere. But I know they're going to be in the same position I'm in. You know, might have to give them quite a bit of money for fuel. And most people today are having to do several jobs just to make ends meet. But, you know, can't keep going on complaining, you just got to get on with it. I don't know if things are going to change. You know, wages are going down, cost of living's going up, and we all know the reasons why. Just a lot of people won't admit it, you know, it's allowing mass immigration. And you got all these lefties who say, it's not the immigrants' fault, it's not the refugees' fault, it's nothing to do with that. Well, it is. Because we're spending literally billions on them, housing them, giving them money, supplying food for them, heat, and everything else. You know, and as you look at it, you know, with my own gas and electricity has gone up, and it went up from £60 a month to 220, and that was sort of overnight. And you know, based on the original budget I was paying, £60 a month for both, I always had a little bit of reserve left at the end of the month. Now I'm paying this extra. I've still got that little bit of reserve left at the end of the month. It just doesn't go anywhere. And yet, you know, these migrants, you know, especially in these hotels and these accommodation, which is all bought for HMOs and stuff, can have the heating on full blast. You know, nobody ever complains to them about it. Can have the lights on all night. You know, I mean, I have to reserve my heating now. The times when I only need it. You know, as we just go into spring, we still have them cold days. Might turn up a bit then, but as soon as it starts feeling a bit warmer, you know, I have to turn it down. So I just can't afford it. You know, it's a sad state of affairs to be in. I mean, not that I watch anything like the BBC or anything, I won't, I refuse to watch them. Because of the propaganda and the narratives. But you know, I just watch YouTube. Don't watch any live events or anything, so I don't have to have a TV licence. Yeah, you have to cut back on your bills where you can. The only bit I've got, which isn't too bad really, is my internet broadband provider, which is Leelecon, and they're, you know, pretty reasonable. It's all fibre optic straight into your house. You know, unlike things like BT where they say, yeah, it's fibre optic, well, it's not. It's still copper and wire from the exchange to your house. Just slows everything down. And at peak times, they do throttle you. So yeah, unfortunately Great Britain's, you know, going down the swelling. You know, and as I said in another video on my news channel, it's not going to get any better. I mean, yes, if Rupert Lowe from Restore gets in, at least we're going to start heading in a new direction, but unrest is going to come. Because we'll be taken over by a demographic, if nothing is done. But in the same vein, if someone like Rupert Lowe comes along and we do start deportating these people who just skim off the benefit system, who just come here for a jolly, come here to eat our food, stay in our heated accommodation, where our own people suffer on the ground, outdoors. You know, it gets rid of all these. They're not going to go easily. They're not going to go without a fight. So whichever way we go, we're going to have civil unrest. Unfortunately, we've opened the door. We've let people in who we shouldn't have let in. That includes terrorists, backed by the IRGC. You know, it's no longer safe for women and kids to stay out for fear of these people. And it's wrong. I certainly never served 15 years in the country for this to happen. It's all down to the establishment. Yes, Conservative, well, Blair years started it. Conservatives carried on doing it. And now this idiotic Marxist lefty government is in. They haven't got a clue. They just do not understand anything. Anything they do goes against what should be done. Go on, darling. Okay, so I'm going to have a video here then. Let's hope this comes out a bit better now. It's stuff I can use. So thanks for watching.